Hi, this is Carolyn Elephant of MyShingle.com and welcome to day 28 of your law practice. Congratulations on making it through almost a month at your own law firm. I hope that everything has been going well for you, but for some of you, you may have already made your first mistake. And let me assure you this, that first mistake is the first of many, many, many that you will make both at your own firm and throughout your career. Mistakes are only human, and lawyers, after all, are human. But even though you can't avoid making mistakes, you can control how you address those mistakes after they happen. And that's what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today. Because the way that you handle those mistakes can really redeem yourself and set you apart from others in dealing with the court or opposing counsel and, of course, your clients. So today I want to talk a little bit about just filing mistakes. Of course, there are many types of mistakes you can make. There are timing mistakes and missing statute of limitations, which we'll talk about a little later this week because that's a more serious mistake. And there are also mistakes that you make in drafts that you send back to clients. But today I want to talk specifically about mistakes that you make in filing a document in the forum where you practice and how to address that. So let's say you've checked all of the filing rules, you've checked the compliance of the document you have to file, you go and you file at a court, and then an hour or a day or even a week later you get that dreaded call or that package returning the filing to you with an explanation of what the issue is. So the first thing that you want to do, of course, is to determine whether the error is valid and to see whether you have any questions about it. So look at the document, take a look at the rules again, and if you have any other questions, contact the clerk. Don't be defensive when you contact the court. The last thing you want to do is argue with a clerk, but you want to understand the nature of the error. And sometimes the courts or the clerks are mistaken. It may be their error, and so that's something you want to clarify. So again, when you get that document returned or you get that phone call, review the regulations, the rules of the court. If you're not sure, speak with a colleague or somebody who has more experience than you do with that particular forum and find out if what you did was incorrect, and then call the clerk and consult. Now, if it turns out that you were mistaken, do whatever it takes to bring the document into conformity. Again, we're talking about a less serious filing error here, so one that's easy to cure, not the kind of filing error that is going to make your pleading out of time. We'll talk about that later this week. So again, just go ahead, refile the document. Then, of course, it's time to tell the client the news. And so what you want to do is approach the client after you've got this handled, but it is something that you want to disclose. You don't want the client to find out on their own from what manner possible, whether looking at the docket sheet or hearing from another attorney in town that this document that was supposed to be filed on January 5th didn't make it onto the docket sheet until January 17th. So after you've corrected the error, you want to inform the client, and then you also want to assure the client that there isn't going to be any charge for addressing this mistake. Filing errors, in my view, are entirely an attorney's fault, and unless a client has given you false information about their name or their identity, and there's been a mistake in filing because you used an incorrect name based on inaccurate information, the filing mistake is really yours to bear, and it's not something that you should charge to the client. But you want to let the client know that you've taken care of it. Of course, there's no charge, and you can give some explanation as to why this error occurred. If it is a confusing rule, that's something you may want to tell the client about. If it's something that was just a stupid mistake on your part, you may want to sort of gloss over the reason for the mistake and just, again, tell the client you've handled it and that you'll be taking care of the cost. So that's one of the ways that you can address mistakes that entail simple filing errors in a particular forum. The last thing you want to do is document the mistake, review your processes and your internal systems. If you're using a checklist for filings, you want to make sure that you document what this particular mistake was so that you don't make it a second time, and also so that your staff doesn't commit this mistake if you're working with staff or other attorneys or law clerks. So you correct your process to make sure you don't let this mistake happen again. Now, as I said, there are lots of different types of mistakes that you can make, and tomorrow and throughout the week, we'll be talking about those. Anyway, Thanks for watching today. This is Carolyn Elephant of MyShingle.com. I'll see you tomorrow on day 29 of your law practice.